Hey everybody, welcome to my channel again. This is Anne, and I am going to do another day of writing sprints so that I can get close, so that I can push through to the finish of my book and get this round of rewrites done so that next month I can actually start the editing process a little at a time and then do some plotting for my nano novel too. So thank you for joining. I'm about to go to the YouTube and share the link so that everybody else can come in. Let me, hold on. Okay, so let me go share this real quick so everybody sees it. So I'm gonna go new tab. Go to my YouTube. Okay, let me go and share. Can anybody hear me? Oh, there you go. I'm here. Oh, wait, Facebook? Okay. And I know you're probably hearing me in double time for a second, but hold on. I know you're probably hearing me in double time for a second, but okay. Okay, now I've got all my stuff shared out. I shared it out to Twitter and Facebook. So I wanted to get that done real quick. That's why you probably heard me echoing a little bit in the background because I had my YouTube open so I could share it because you can't share it over here from StreamYard. So anyway, and thanks for joining me. And to those of you who are about to join me in about 10 after, I'm going to do a 10-minute warm-up sprint. And I will definitely put that in the chat section so that those who join me will see that I'm in the middle of a sprint if you come in late. So, and I want to say thanks to my new subscribers who have joined me. The WWJ Writing Warriors for Jesus channel, you're going to want to subscribe to that so you can watch our first annual live writing conference, which is free. So, and I will definitely get that link for you to register for the giveaways. And if I don't get it today, I will definitely put it up there tomorrow. And also, thanks to Raymond Lombardi. I haven't subscribed to his channel yet. Raymond, if you're watching, I haven't subscribed to your channel yet. Just give me a bit. And I do want to send a special shout out before we get started to my friend Allie. Allie likes to write on YouTube. And today is her birthday. And I was looking at Facebook and I saw that. So happy birthday, Allie. Anyway, if you're watching later, happy birthday. So, okay. I don't know what everybody's working on today. I'm working on finishing up my book, like I said. And if you're following my blog, you will see the latest poem I posted up there this morning. It is called The Kiss of a Hummingbird. So I would encourage you, if you're looking at my channel, if you go and look at the channel itself, I have the link to my website and social media. I'd encourage you to go and check that out. So anyway, let me double check my time here. I've got my documents open Oops, I got to pull my screen down some, I think. There we go. Hold on. Okay. If anybody, when you guys join, let me know if you can see me, because I want to make sure my screen is right. Because that's how, I know that whether people can see me or not. So anyway, let me see, double check my time here. All right, in about 2 minutes, I'm going to start my sprint. I've got my documents open already, so I don't have to worry about doing that. And I'm figuring out this StreamYard thing pretty good. So it's a learning process, but you know what? As authors, we all need to learn and grow and try new things when it comes to talking about our writing, sharing our writing, building communities. We need to try new things. If we try something and it doesn't work for us, then then we know not to try that again. But if we say we can't do something and don't try it, then we're selling ourselves short. And I'm guilty of overthinking things and talking myself out of stuff. So, to tell you a quick story, I always said I can't write poetry. I can't write poetry. Can't write poetry. It's rare. I don't do one poetry book and several more poems on my blog later says that I can. Because the Holy Spirit was telling me, you keep saying you can't do it, but you keep proving that you can. And I kept saying I couldn't stream, and look, I'm up here today, second day in a row. So anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for joining me as I do the writing sprint. And I feel like it helps me stay more productive when I do the sprint. So if it helps you stay productive, then why don't we sprint together? And we'll definitely be doing these during NaNoWriMo too. And if I end up having professional blog posts and articles to do because I'm a freelancer, I'll do those during sprints too. So, who knows what we're going to come up with, but I do know one thing. We are working together to reach our individual writing goals, and it's part of a network. It's part of building community. And I want to thank all of you for watching yesterday, because I did look at the channel and I saw there were at least 12 views on the video. Thanks so much for watching and writing with me. Even if you couldn't write with me at that particular time, you were able to write with me later. So the videos do bank. So that's what I really like about it. Okay. All right, it's time to do a 10-minute warm-up sprint. I will be back at 1:20. Echo, set a word sprints timer for 10 minutes.
Word sprint timer, 10 minutes, starting now.
Okay.
Your word sprint timer is done.
Echo stop. Okay, the sprint is done, and I'm not. I was on a roll, let me tell you. Let me see if I've got any comments here. All right, well, I don't see any new comments, so anybody who's joining me, I hope you guys, hope y'all had some really good sprints going there. I hope you had some, were really productive. And I discovered I had to take out a couple of things because I'd already hashed that out in the mystery, and I may have to, when I do the edits, I may have to either take it out of there or take it out of the final chapter. But anyway, I'll figure that out later. Can't spoil it for you because I really don't want to do that. But anyway, so I'm really coming up. I gotta figure out there's a couple other loose ends that need to be tied up before I finally finish this book. But I had the idea. It was funny because I had the idea to do some of this yesterday after we had gotten done sprinting. So I went outside and I spent some time in thought and prayer, and I said, Lord, don't let me forget this, because I wanted to do the sprints and I wanted to work on this today instead of overloading my, overdoing it and getting really truly brain dead, so tired I couldn't think. So that's why I didn't do it. I didn't keep going yesterday. But if any of you viewing this, after the stream has ended, you want to keep going, don't hesitate to do that. Just keep the momentum going after the stream is finished. Because sometimes when you get in that creative flow, the juices flow and you want to keep going. So that's what's really good, okay? That is really an interesting thing. So I wanted to take a little brain break, and then we're going to do, in a few minutes, we're going to do a 20-minute sprint. You see. Okay, nobody's commenting, so I'm hoping some people can actually join me and do the sprints with me. But anyway, we're going to keep going anyway. So let me look. I'm taking a few minutes break. All right. So in a couple minutes, I'm going to do a 20-minute sprint. Okay. So that way we can just keep the momentum going. If I had some comments, if somebody, somebody comes in after the sprint, we can definitely talk about the process, talk about where we are. I'm not doing word count. I am working on chapters today. That's my goal. So, and that's my goal for the rest of this month, is to work on chapters. Okay. So, and I could do word count, and Tish and Nick were with me yesterday. Nick did his, told us his word count, was what I'm trying to say. But if that's what you're doing, then, good for you. But when you're doing rewrites or when you're doing edits, sometimes it's hard to do the word count because you have more words you've taken out more words a lot of times than you put in. So that's why that's a little bit hard to do. So what is your process like? Is there anybody out there who are plotters, pantsers? Are you pantsers learning how to plot? Are you plantsers, as they call it, plotters learning how to pants? Or you do a little bit of both? I do a little bit of both, honestly. I'm doing more plotting though. I'm not outlining, like doing these strict outlines, but I do plot more. So yeah, that's how I work. I was a pantser, but bare bones plotting is what I do. So let's see. Okay, so I was gonna do the sprint now, but I think I'm gonna wait for give us another 5 minutes to kind of gather our thoughts and work toward that. Because if I start now, it'll kind of be the time will be a bit off. So a 10-minute break between sprints is good. Then we'll do another 20. 1:30, I'll do a 20, and then it'll be back at 50. And then we'll do another 20 at the top of the hour like we did before. And if we keep going, I may do another one. If I'm still in that groove, I may do another one, or I may not. It just depends. So we'll just see how it goes. Okay. What else can I tell you about writing process? And I've talked about this on the podcast. I have talked about this when I first started my podcast, my Inspirational Journeys podcast. One way I get to know my characters is through character interviews. I write these out on my blog. I write these out. I've got one I need to put on my blog at some point. Maybe I might look it over, edit it, and then do it this week as a teaser. But character interviews help me to get to know the characters. They won't tell me about the books. They won't tell me what's going on, but it helps me to flesh out. It helps me to flesh out the character. And a lot of the stuff doesn't go in the story, but it also helps me to know what I need to do and what needs to unfold in the story. And again, it lets me know what I need the characters to, where the characters are going in the story, which I am not in control. If my characters talk to me, they're in control. I'll start the story, and like I said yesterday, I will get inspired by dreams, music. Sometimes my wind chimes will inspire me. Sometimes it's something that I read that really gets me going and inspires me to write. So it all depends on a lot of things as to where my inspiration comes from, especially when I'm drafting. Now, when I'm editing and rewriting, I may not see the book in dreams as much because it's already there, and the scenes keep playing in my head. So sometimes you have to write out of order to make your story work, to kind of filter, to dump the scene that's in your head and then work your way and then write yourself through to that point. Now, when I say music inspires me, sometimes a song gets in my head, and some people and my friends, writing friends, know this, but sometimes there's a song that gets into my head and it gets stuck there, and I don't care what comes or goes, it's going to be there because that's a part of the book. That solidifies a certain part of the book, or it helps me to it inspires this. It's the way God is inspiring me to figure out what is next in the book. Sometimes it can lead to something biblical. Sometimes it can just lead to a scene that plays out in a movie. I can share another story about that later, which if you watch on a couple other streams that I've been on, let's see. Okay. Okay, so okay, in about a minute we're gonna start another 20-minute, the first 20-minute sprint, and we'll see how far that goes. So that's what we're gonna do in about a minute, maybe less. And this is where we get productive. And then if you have any questions about the process, anything you'd like to share, just let me know and we can talk about that in between, in the breaks, because that's what I like to talk about. I could talk about Jesus and writing all day, and I could talk about, how coffee fuels my writing. Okay, let me double check again. All right, yep. The time is almost time to do another sprint. So I hope you guys are enjoying these, even if you view them later. I hope you're enjoying these sprints as much as I'm enjoying bringing them to you and sprinting with you, because doing live streams is something new for me, but it's fun too. So that is what I'm really looking forward to doing. So, and I'll still do the podcast. Don't get me wrong. The podcast is not going anywhere. I will do a reflective piece on that, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Okay. All right. Time to sprint. Let's start a 20-minute sprint now. I will go ahead and set the timer. Echo, set a writing sprints timer for 20 minutes.
Writing sprints timer, 20 minutes, starting now.
Okay, let's go. checking something real quick, y'all. Just bear with me. Sounds like we could, and I do mean could have a bit of a storm, and we're still in the middle of a sprint, but sounds like we could have a bit of a storm here. If it gets really bad, I may have to cut the stream short, but I'm going to try not to today because we do have some crazy weather coming in. So just bear with me, and let's keep moving. We're about halfway through. We can do this. Mm. 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 I'll pray about it first, but I still think I ought to go up there. I'll pray about it first, but I still think I ought to go up there. And that's all we ask is that you pray first. Come on, honey, let's go home. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. I am thinking out loud as I'm sprinting. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot I was streaming. Oh, sorry. My characters are I'm thinking out loud and I shouldn't have done that. I should have put my mic on mute. Oops. Next time I'll be sure to mute my mic so that way if that happens, you guys won't get put into that and get spoiled. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sorry about that. Sprint's almost over, but still. We got about a minute left, but yeah, that was an accident. Oops. And you probably see my writer's face, so if you think I'm talking kind of silly, it's because I'm in my totally in my book, in my head, so to speak. Because I got to figure out how to end this little conversation. So yeah, that's what happens. And I'm sure other writers get. I'm sure you other writers get into that point too. So let me try to finish this scene out before the timer goes out, and then we'll get back and talk about those character moments and see what the process is about. Okay.
Your writing sprint timer is done.
Echo, stop. Okay, sprint time is over. I just had to finish that. Let me see. Oh, so okay, so I'm still the only one up here. This is kind of interesting. But anyway, so let's talk about that. If there's anyone watching at this point, or if you want to comment later, you can. But my question for you, like you just saw with me, oh gosh, I was kind of embarrassed by that, but you know that happens. Like you just saw with me. Do you get into that writing mode and try to speak your dialogue out loud in the voices of your characters? Do you have a writing totem like this, or like a couple of ladies on the Writing Excuses podcast who I listen to on Sunday afternoons? But these two ladies, they collaborate together and they have a Barbie diorama, and they use like two Barbie dolls in the diorama as their, because they write romance together, and they collaborate with another author to write fantasy, but they write romance together. And so they have the two Barbies, like a Ken and a Barbie, and they may not pose with them, but they will act out the character's dialogue with the dolls. So have you ever done anything like that? Have you ever done anything fun like that? Because I hold my totem, and sometimes I can channel through to my characters in that space. I am not quite done with this particular part of the sprint or part of the book. I'm close to it, because there's got to be something coming up toward the very end, and the creative juices are flowing. At this point, I don't even know where I have the journal open, but I have it open just in case. So yeah, it's one of those kind of things. So if you have done that, let me know in the comments, in the chat, if you've done something like that, or if you found another way to channel to connect with your characters, because sometimes that really helps figure out. It helps you figure out what's coming next. It's like I was channeling into my characters a minute ago. I know I shouldn't do that streaming, and I do apologize. I know it's unscripted, but at least you get to see part of my process as I'm doing it. As I'm doing it, you know, so yeah, and it's unscripted. So with such is life. Yeah. So anyway, if you have any comments, I mean, if you have any, ideas about, the ways you channel into your characters, if you want to discuss that, please, let me know in the comments, and I will definitely, oh, okay, if anybody has any comments on that, please let me know, because that's a really good discussion topic. Okay, in about 5 minutes, we're going to do another 20-minute sprint. And then I'll probably talk for another 10 minutes, and then we'll finish up here, okay? So, but I'm just kind of waiting to see if there's any comments, anyone want to chime in and kind of talk about your process, talk about what your goals are, where you are in the moment, or in the Yeah, in that process. Okay, let's look. Okay, nothing new yet, so I'm just kind of waiting for just a minute. I was checking my comments to see and see what happens here. So anyway, yeah. What more can I talk about here? Because I don't want you guys to sit and just listen to dead air before the actual sprint starts. So that's, I will say though that I will be doing some plotting for my nano novel. I probably mentioned that yesterday, but I will be doing that. So between edits and getting things ready for that, that's something that I'm going to work toward as well. So another thing I'm thinking about doing, let me double check my time because we got to start this last. All right, one thing I want to, I'm keeping checking on time because I want to make sure I start the sprints on time so it doesn't throw people off. Okay, one thing I want to be sure of is, one thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe not getting a poetry book ready to publish, but because I have written some poems aside from what's in my book, a lot of them are on the blog. I have to pull some of them from the blog, but I'm thinking about starting another document and collecting those poems. That way, when I get ready to publish a book, when I get like 20, 30 some odd poems, who knows how many, once I get ready to publish the book, I can put it in my template and then write an introduction. And if I have themes and stuff going on for that, I can work with that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to forget my novels. No, I'm still going to do the novels, the thrillers, the children's book. I got a couple of children's books that I want to, like 2 or 3 actually, that I want to really look at and work on at some point too. But I think the poetry books, poetry is another art form in itself. And again, I don't write it on a whim, but when I do get the chance, I love to write it. When I'm inspired by something as beautiful as a hummingbird, for example, I love to write those poems. So the novels, the poems, even some short stories. I'm going to rebrand it, retitle it, but I am going to do a book of short stories at some point too. So I've got some things in the works. It's just one thing at a time is what I have to work on. That's what I have to work on. That's what I have to focus on. And that's something that, every writer has to figure out where they're going next once they get one thing done. But you still have to promote what you've got out there. You can't leave that to chance. No, you cannot leave that to chance, because I was doing that. It was just sitting there. And then I start putting it out there and promoting it with all the blog stuff. Yeah. So, and I got to go down, when I look at my video, I got to go down and look at my description once it comes live on the channel and make sure that the links go up there. If anybody wants the link to the poetry book, if you're interested, let me know in the comments either now or later. Wait a minute, let me look. Nope, nothing. Okay, so let me know, and I will certainly, it's usually in my descriptions anyway, especially when I upload new content, new vlogs, author interviews, podcast interviews, things like that. Author interviews and stuff, author, creative artist, entrepreneur interviews, stuff like that. It'll be there too. So, and then when the new book, when Shadow of Truth comes out, I'll put that there as well to help promote that. And once the audiobook comes out, the audiobook for the audible version of the poetry book is what I'm trying to say, comes out, I will put that on. We'll do a little launch party that day. Once it comes out, we'll do a launch party that evening or whatever. So let's see. All right, it's time for one more 20-minute sprint. I was going to do a couple of, why don't we do just a 10-minute cool down? Actually, I was going to do two 20 minutes, but why don't we do a 10-minute cool down, and then I will sign off. That way, in case, that way I don't get caught up in any storms that might be coming through. So, all right, let's start the 10-minute sprint. I'm going to set the word sprints timer, and I will be back at 2:10 or thereafter once the timer goes off, and we'll talk a bit more, and then I'll sign off. Okay? So, Echo, set a writing sprints timer for 10 minutes.
Writing sprints timer, 10 minutes, starting now.
Cool down sprint starts now.
Your writing sprint timer is done.
Echo, stop. Okay, that 10-minute sprint's done, but I'm not finished. I thought I was going to be finished, but no, I think I need one more to get through this. I don't know. I may come back tomorrow and finish this. I don't know, because I'm really on a roll right here. If you guys can hang with me for one more sprint, then I will definitely do that, because I should have done a 20-minute. I really should have done a 20-minute. So yeah, I'm gonna do another quick 10-minute sprint, and then if I feel I need another one, we can keep going. But if not, I may sign off. So let me see. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna give myself a few more minutes. So yeah, I'll do it at 15 after. A quick 10-minute at 15 after, and then we'll go from there. So because right now everything's pretty weather-wise, everything's okay. I got that advisory thing on my phone, but so far the Lord has kept the inclement weather away, so that I can do this sprint, so I can write this for Him, and we'll just have to see where it goes. But I think I'm going to actually reach my goal today if I keep pushing through. Yep. So we will see how that goes. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Oop. You know what? I haven't kept the comments going in case somebody joins, so I can do that if somebody joins late, which that actually can happen. If you join late, that's fine. Just know that if I'm not talking, or if you hear my computer keys clicking, that's because I'm actually doing a writing sprint. So that's why. And again, I want to say how much I appreciate you guys watching. Even if it is later, I appreciate the views on the sprints. I would appreciate it even more if you would like, rate, and subscribe. Not rate. I don't even know if you can rate it anymore. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss podcast episodes, and subscribe to the channel so that you can get notified when I do these writing sprints. So that's what I would really, really prefer, that I would really ask you to do. That's one way you can support what I do here. And there are other ways too. You just have to look. I won't go into all the details, but I have links in the description that tell you how you can support the podcast, or you can get the book and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm doing a shameless self-promotion because I feel like we all need a bit of a shameless. I feel like we all need to put in a shameless plug every now and then. That's what I feel like we need to do. Okay, so all right, I'm going to do a quick 10-minute sprint. I will be back at 2:25, and probably sign off here at 2:30. So, Echo, set a writing sprints timer for 10 minutes.
Writing sprints timer, 10 minutes. Starting now.
Okay, let's sprint. Echo, stop. Okay, sprint time is up. I need to do praying. Hold on, I'm closing documents. And Jaws is being a bit persnickety right this second. That's my screen reader. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I was closing out these documents because I need to think and pray about how I'm going to do this very last part of it. So I may finish that up tomorrow and then do a few other things while we're doing sprints. Or if I feel like, God's leading me to come back and finish it later, we can start something. I can start something new tomorrow. So I will be back. If I'm not back tomorrow for whatever reason, I will definitely, let you know for sure. But I do plan on coming back tomorrow to do another stream. Whether it be working on this book or starting the process of putting Inner Vision into the template that I've created so that I can get some work done on that. Or if I have a professional job to do, which I'm not sure that I will, but if I have one of those to do, then I can, work on that too. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, what God, blesses us with tomorrow. But I pray that you guys stay safe and have a blessed day. And if you join me later on, I'm glad that you are going to join me. And if you have any comments about the video, you have anything you'd like to share, based on what we've talked about, be sure to leave those in the comments. I do, other than comments from trolls, which I haven't really gotten a lot on YouTube, I do respond to comments, especially if somebody's asking a question or talking about characters. I do respond to comments, and I will certainly, it's some subjects we can talk about to, when I come back tomorrow too. So hope you guys have a blessed day. I am about to jump off of here. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go over and subscribe to my podcast, because this weekend I will be having a reflective piece that I'm talking about on the podcast. And happy writing, everybody. Hope you guys got some work done. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.